if we could have Dr. J hop on, Dr. Jeremy Thornton. If you can kick us off, my friend, first of all, congrats. You need to unmute yourself.
Hey, thanks.
There we go, brother. Congrats on Diamond. Everybody give him a big round of applause. Drop some emojis in the comments. Our newest Diamond right here, crushing it, bro. Super proud of you. And I love how your focus literally is just helping people, making a difference. And as you're leading the leaderboard, you're hitting new ranks, you're, growing this massive team. I want you to talk about why you're so excited about triGLP. Why is this the most phenomenal product you've ever witnessed in your career? So have I, so many other people. Why is it so appropriate for today's time? If you could, I'm going to turn the time over to you.
Thanks, Dee. I appreciate it. My name is Dr. Jeremy Thornton. I'm a chiropractic physician, a board certified internist, board certified clinical nutritionist. So I've been in this space, been in practice now 28 years in the area of functional medicine. And so, honestly, when I met triGLP, it was only back in December, right? I'm still new here, right? I did not want to like this product. I did not even want to try this product, honestly, at first, because I had very specific ideas in my mind of what could work in the natural space. And I didn't believe there was a natural peptide formula that could make a big difference. I tried several things. Anybody else tried lots of different things, not only in the peptide space, but in the weight loss space in general. And I've just never found anything that I was really super excited about. And so when this came across my path, a friend asked me to try it, and I reluctantly agreed to try it. So I tried this product over the holidays, like Christmas, New Year. The next week was my birthday. Needless to say, I was not eating right. So I expected this product to not make a difference. And I was surprised. Not only did I not gain weight in the holidays, and I always gain weight, anybody else always gain weight, but I had lost 2 pounds. And so it stopped me in my tracks to say, okay, what is this stuff? What is going on here? So I looked into the ingredients, I looked into the company, I looked into the science, and guys, I was just honestly blown away by what I found. In fact, when I finally got this aha moment of what this was and what it could do, I had trouble sleeping, and that's honest. Um, so this formula is by far the most exciting thing I've seen in the natural healthcare space, and again in 28 years of practice. And I think when I share why that is, you'll agree with me, and you'll see why I say that. So we talk about pathways. We hear people talk about GLP-1 and GLP-2 and GIP, all these different pathways, and what's that mean, right? We hear a lot about GLP-1. And a lot of people think GLP-1 is a drug. Anybody think that or had thought that GLP-1 is a drug? We hear about commercials all the time about GLP-1. Well, guys, GLP-1 is not a drug. It's called glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a naturally occurring peptide, naturally occurring pathway in our body. Okay. Just happens to be that there is a medication on the market right now, the most popular one called Ozempic, that triggers these receptors. Actually, it's very aggressively triggers these receptors in the body, and it really hammers down on this GLP-1 pathway, and it's so aggressively so that a lot of times it has side effects with it. Right? We're starting to see more and more about that in the news. I see it all the time on social media. We're starting to see the lawyer advertisements, right? If you've been on GLP-1 and you've had these side effects, and there's lawsuits, and that gets scary. So GLP-1, the Ozempic GLP-1, and it's called an agonist, um, has a lot of side effects, and the impact of GLP-1, the natural GLP-1, is pretty exciting in the body, and the fact that it regulates hunger, it quiets food noise, it controls appetite, reduces those food cravings, right? Where we think we need to get up and go see where the chips are, right? What's in the cupboard, what's in the refrigerator, what's in the freezer, when we're not really even hungry, but we have that food noise, right? That tells us we need to snack. It also improves insulin secretion, improves insulin sensitivity in the body. It's really an amazing pathway. But what's exciting about these drops is it doesn't stop there. Okay. What I like to see, and probably the biggest takeaway that you could have tonight from this, is that this supports physiology rather than overrides physiology, which is what the synthetics do, is it overrides physiology in the body. So this also supports GLP-2 in our body. We call it the core shield. It supports the gut lining. It improves nutrient absorption in the body, reduces inflammation. And this one is probably one of the most exciting pathways because we see so many people benefit from this. If you look in our testimonial group, if you're not in there, please ask to be added to the testimonial group. You're going to see a lot of people talking about benefits that we wouldn't think were associated with these drops. We'll hear people talking about how their digestion's improved, how they have better energy, how they have better mood, better sleep. And a lot of that is because of this pathway right here and how it repairs that intestinal lining, supporting especially a condition we hear called leaky gut. That intestinal barrier, this helps to repair and reduces inflammation in that gut lining, improves nutrient absorption. If we improve nutrient absorption, right, we're going to feel better. We're going to have better energy, better health. If we have a better gut health, what we hear people talk all the time about the gut being the second brain, right? Because the gut makes 90% of our serotonin, at least 50% of our dopamine in the gut. So if we have a healthy gut, we're going to feel better. We're going to have better energy. We're going to have better mood as well. And we see a lot of testimonials surrounding this. But not only those two pathways, this also supports the GIP pathway, the metabolic optimizer. So it supports insulin sensitivity in the body and blood sugar regulation. It causes blood sugar to be more steady, prevents crashes, enhances fat burning, metabolic efficiency. What this helps do is it's involved in nutrient processing and signaling that helps your body decide what to do with incoming food. So when incoming food, the body has to decide whether we're going to store this away or whether we're going to use this for fuel. And so if we can support that to use that incoming food as fuel instead of storing it away, it's a huge boost for metabolic efficiency in the body. And another just my own personal experience with my wife, she had horrible hypoglycemia. She had to eat every 2 or 3 hours. Anybody have that or know somebody that has that? And if she didn't, she could get in trouble pretty quickly with weakness and feeling shaky. She'd even passed out before. Um, when she started the drops, of course, we weren't looking for blood sugar regulation, but she started realizing that she wasn't as sensitive in her blood sugar. In fact, now, just a couple of months later, she can intermittent fast. She can go hours without eating, and she never used to be able to do that before these drops. And so that's super exciting and just a testament to what it's doing for blood sugar regulation in the body. And so this formula, again, these simple drops right here support these three very important pathways in the body. So what are some of the results clinically? We see a 6 to 7% BMI reduction, 10% body fat decrease with zero muscle loss. I think that's one of the most important things to take away from tonight. The most popular drug on the market now, when you lose weight with this drug, it has up to a 40% loss of muscle. 40% of that weight is muscle loss. And so if you lose, let's say you lost 50 pounds with this injection, 20 pounds of that is muscle. Isn't that shocking? And guess what? After losing that 50 pounds, and 20 of which is muscle, are we metabolically better off or worse off than we started? We're worse off, right? Without having that muscle. And the place that people find themselves in is they lose the weight, they come off of the shots, they gain the weight back on. But guess what? That weight gain was that 20 pounds gained back of muscle? Of course not, right? And what happens oftentimes is we'll go back on the shots again. Well, guess what? Another up to 40% of that weight loss is muscle loss. We can quickly see where this could become very critical. And we're starting to see more of that, of course, when we hear about these side effects with these medications. This is 100% fat targeted weight loss, no muscle loss, and none of that is just water weight. Improved glucose control, improved A1C. This is probably the most exciting thing I've seen clinically because I can see this on blood testing is improvement in fasting insulin, improvement in blood sugar, improvement in A1C, which means that we're reversing insulin resistance with the support of these drops, right? We're seeing people improve their blood sugar. And, in the US, 1 in 3 are pre-diabetic, diabetic, 1 in 8 are diabetic, and 70%, it's estimated, are insulin resistant. And this is a huge tool to support that area. reduction in inflammation, improved energy, improved digestion and gut health, as we've talked about. We have 3 years of research and development into this technology. Of course, no needles, patented and patent pending technology, pharmaceutical grade manufacturing standards, direct to consumer, right? We don't have to get a prescription. We don't have to go see our doctor. No medical gatekeepers, and about a quarter of the price, right? Or maybe even less than the injectable options out there. Effortless appetite control, gut healing, metabolic balance, transformation. It's exciting to see. Talking about just 4 simple ingredients. Norwegian salmon is where we get the bioactive peptides, organic lemon peel extract, organic ginger extract, and water. That's all we're dealing with here, guys. A very simple, very clean product, very pure product. We call it Beyond Organic. Look at all of these certifications we have. Probably one of the cleanest products that I've ever seen. It's halal certified, HACCP certified, non-GMO, GMP certified, and on and on.